What if the god holding reality together is the one everyone forgets to save? What if Avengers Doomsday isn't about heroes versus doom, but about mercy versus control? From Endgame's silent goodbye to Loki's throne beyond time, Marvel is hiding its most dangerous secret in plain sight this time now. Avengers Doomsday is positioned as a direct continuation of Endgame, directed by the Russo brothers, and shockingly starring Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. This isn't a gimmick casting, it's a thematic mirror, forcing Tony Stark's legacy to echo through Doom's obsession with order, sacrifice, and impossible choices ahead. The real spine of Doomsday begins not with Doom, but with Loki Season 2's finale, when Loki destroys the Temporal Loom and refuses He Who Remains lie. In that haunting Citadel scene, Loki grabs infinite timelines, endures endless pain, and transforms chaos into Yggdrasil, becoming the god of stories himself. Loki doesn't rule from a throne of gold, he is the throne. Sitting alone at the end of time, his hands literally holding reality together, Loki becomes a living battery for the multiverse. Every branching timeline survives because he chooses suffering over control, freedom over safety, and hope over tyranny. This single choice creates the greatest power vacuum the MCU has ever seen. Under He Who Remains, time was a rope tightly braided and brutally pruned. Under Loki, it becomes a wild tree, infinite branches colliding freely. To most heroes, that's freedom. To Dr. Doom, that's extinction waiting patiently ahead. Doom's philosophy has always been terrifyingly simple. Order must be imposed, no matter the cost. Incursions, first visualized in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, prove Doom's fears right. Universes smashing into each other, worlds dying screaming. Doom doesn't want chaos managed, he wants it erased, reshaped, and ruled. In Doomsday, Doom sees Loki not as a god, but as a flaw. A single being holding infinite timelines is inefficient, emotional, and unstable. Drawing from comic lore of the Beyonders and Molecule Man, Doom's plan is to steal Loki's power, remove the anchor, and collapse everything into one reality. That collapse requires a sacrifice, and theories point to Loki as the ultimate anchor being. Deadpool and Wolverine introduced anchor beings as souls whose death decays timelines. If Loki dies, the multiverse unravels instantly. That catastrophic moment is what Doom needs to forge Battleworld from the broken remains of infinity. Battleworld isn't salvation, it's a prison built from stolen realities. Doom doesn't want infinite possibilities, he wants one perfect outcome, with himself as God Emperor. This sets up the true emotional conflict of Doomsday, not heroes fighting Doom, but heroes deciding whether freedom is worth endless death across realities everywhere. And then comes Steve Rogers, not crashing through portals, but quietly living a life he earned. Leaked teaser footage shows Steve dancing with Peggy, growing old, and holding a newborn child. This isn't fan service. This baby may be the most dangerous anomaly the multiverse has ever created so far. By returning to the past and staying there while his younger self remained frozen in ice, Steve may have shattered causality itself. That child exists because of a paradox. A man out of time creating life where he shouldn't. To Dr. Doom, this child isn't innocent, it's an infection correction. This forces Steve into an impossible position: protect his family or protect reality. That moral fracture mirrors Civil War, but on a cosmic scale. Doom thrives on these fractures. He doesn't conquer heroes by force alone, he tempts them with choices where every option feels like betrayal to them all. Thor's story in Doomsday carries the weight of loss and legacy. A leaked trailer shows Thor kneeling before an unseen Odin, praying for strength to protect love. This echoes Infinity War's opening trauma and Endgame's broken god. Thor isn't fighting for glory anymore, he's fighting to keep a promise alive. Then there's the strange moment everyone laughed at in Deadpool and Wolverine, Thor crying over a dying Deadpool. Comedy hid prophecy. That scene likely flashes forward to Doomsday, where Deadpool's awareness bridges realities. His sacrifice may reunite Thor and Loki final time, turning a joke into the saga's painful farewell. Deadpool also introduces the language Doom needs: anchor beings. Logan's death nearly erased his timeline. Loki's death would erase everything. Doom hunting anchor beings isn't cruelty, it's construction. He's gathering bricks for Battleworld, each stolen timeline another wall in his fortress against chaos built from sacrifice and fear now looming. The Fantastic Four's arrival accelerates Doom's endgame. Rumors claim their universe collapses, leaving Doom desperate. A post-credits scene reportedly shows Doom approaching young Franklin Richards. Comic readers know Franklin doesn't just bend reality, he rewrites it. Combined with Loki's power, Franklin becomes the final ingredient for creating Battleworld itself now. The X-Men's presence confirms Doomsday isn't selective, it's inclusive destruction. Seeing Cyclops in classic blue and yellow, Professor X and Magneto signals universes colliding on screen. Doom isn't erasing them out of hatred. He's preserving them like trophies frozen inside Battleworld as proof that his order saved something from endless collapse. The TVA's quiet role explains Marvel's pivot away from Kang. Loki Season 2 reframes the TVA as hunters of Kang variants, not timeline executioners. Kang isn't defeated by heroes, he's neutralized by bureaucracy. That absence leaves a throne unclaimed, and Dr. Doom never ignores an empty throne waiting patiently always. Visually, Doomsday echoes Endgame's language. Heroes assembling feels heavier, quieter, older. Portals may open, but smiles won't follow. These heroes aren't fighting to win, they're fighting to delay extinction. Every punch thrown against Doom feels meaningless when the real ticking clock is Loki's endurance at the end of time itself. The tragic irony is Loki's growth. The boy who craved attention now accepts isolation. The trickster who wanted a throne becomes the roots beneath everyone else's kingdoms. Doomsday threatens to undo the MCU's character arc, asking whether the universe deserves Loki's sacrifice or whether saving him is the hero's stand. If Doom succeeds, Secret Wars becomes inevitable. Battleworld rises from broken timelines, heroes and villains forced into Doom's design. But Doomsday is about the moment before collapse, the choice point. Save Loki and risk infinite incursions, or lose him and live inside Doom's mercy. There is no clean victory here. Expect the Russos to weaponize silence. Like Tony's snap or Natasha's fall, Loki's fate may unfold without music or speeches. Just a god, a tree, and a hand letting go. Doom doesn't need to kill Loki himself. He needs to convince the Avengers that saving everyone requires losing one brother. Steve's paradox child, Thor's tears, Deadpool's sacrifice, Franklin's power, and Loki's endurance all orbit one truth. Doomsday isn't about who hits hardest. It's about who the universe is willing to break. And at the center of that storm sits Loki, holding everything together, waiting to be chosen or abandoned forever. The title Doomsday isn't metaphorical. It's personal. For Loki, it's the day his story ends. For Doom, it's the day order finally wins. For the Avengers, it's the day saving the universe means destroying the one thing keeping it alive. That's the cruel math Marvel is daring audiences to accept. And remember, Loki has always survived by losing. Losing Asgard, losing Frigga, losing Thor, losing himself. Doomsday asks if there's anything left to lose, or if the final trick is letting the universe believe he's gone, while his story quietly rewrites the ending of everything we thought we knew before. Avengers Doomsday releases on December 18, 2026, but its emotional groundwork has been laid for years. From Avengers 1's defeat to Endgame's sacrifice, Loki has been moving toward this moment. The god of stories isn't just narrating the saga anymore. He is the saga's fragile spine now alone. When Doom finally steps out of the shadows, metal mask gleaming, he won't announce himself as a villain. He'll call himself a savior. He'll point at incursions, dead worlds, crying children, and ask the Avengers a simple question Endgame never had to answer. Who deserves to survive when everyone can't? And somewhere beyond time, Loki will hear that question echo through the branches of Yggdrasil. He's heard it before, from Thanos, from Kang, from himself. The difference now is choice, not forced destiny, not a script. Just a god deciding whether his pain is worth everyone else's future today alone. This is why Loki's hidden role matters more than any cameo or surprise return. He isn't the twist, he's the foundation. Remove him, and everything falls. Protect him, and nothing stays stable. Avengers Doomsday forces Marvel to finally confront its biggest question. Is freedom worth the price of infinite suffering? The answer won't come easy, and it won't come clean. Doomsday is designed to hurt, to divide, to haunt. And when Secret Wars arrives, audiences will remember the moment everything broke. Not with a snap, but with a god letting go of the universe he loved enough to hold together. Marvel has been planting this payoff since Thor's first film, since Loki whispered defiance to Odin. Doomsday doesn't retcon that journey, it completes it. Whether Loki survives or not, his role reshapes the MCU forever. The god of stories becomes the reason stories can even exist across every universe imaginable. And if Doom believes chopping down the multiversal tree will save reality, then Loki is the forest's heart. You don't defeat Doom by punching him harder. You defeat him by refusing his logic, by choosing compassion over control, and proving that chaos, when protected, can grow into something worth saving. Doom understands gods better than anyone. He knows they bleed ideals before blood. Loki bleeding hope keeps reality alive. Doom bleeding certainty kills it. That contrast defines Doomsday's soul. Not steel versus magic, not teams versus armies, but belief versus belief, clashing until only one vision of existence remains standing. As marketing ramps up, expect misdirection. Cameos will distract, explosions will dazzle, but Loki's absence will scream louder than any trailer reveal. Marvel wants you looking everywhere except the end of time, because that's where the real ending waits, silent, patient, and devastating beyond all heroes and villains alike now. Whether Loki falls, vanishes, or transcends again, Doomsday changes how we see heroism. Sacrifice stops being noble and starts being questioned. Doom forces heroes to confront an ugly truth. Saving everyone might be impossible. Saving someone might be enough. And Loki, of all beings, understands that better than anyone else. This is not Loki's redemption story. That already happened. This is his responsibility story. The weight he accepts so others can live free. Doomsday dares the Avengers to see Loki not as a villain, not as a trickster, but as the quiet pillar holding their future upright against collapse alone. Avengers Doomsday isn't just the next movie, it's the MCU asking for trust. Trust that pain leads somewhere. Trust that endings matter. Trust that Loki's suffering isn't meaningless. And when the credits roll, audiences may realize the Multiverse Saga was never about Kang, Doom, or power. It was about Loki. So when Doom reaches for the throne at the end of time, understand what he's stealing. Not power, not timelines. He's stealing choice. Loki's choice. And if the Avengers fail to protect that, then Doomsday won't be a defeat. It'll be a surrender by heroes who chose order over freedom. Loki once said freedom is life's lie. Now he embodies its cost. Avengers Doomsday forces the MCU to decide if that cost is worth paying. And when the universe trembles, remember, it isn't Doom holding reality together. It's a god who learned late that saving everyone means never being saved. If this theory resonates, prepare yourself. Doomsday won't leave you cheering. It'll leave you questioning everything you thought you wanted from heroes. And when Loki's fate is revealed, you'll realize Marvel wasn't building toward a war. It was building toward a goodbye that changes the multiverse forever and beyond imagination. And that's why Loki's hidden role matters. Not because he's powerful, but because he's willing. Willing to suffer, to wait, to hold. Avengers Doomsday dares the audience to ask whether the bravest hero is the one who fights or the one who stays alone so everyone else can move forward. This story isn't finished, but its direction is clear. Doom wants control. Heroes want hope. Loki carries both. When Avengers Doomsday arrives, look past the explosions and cameos. Watch the tree. Watch the throne. Because the future of the MCU is hanging from a single pair of tired hands. And if Marvel is brave enough, Loki won't be rescued. He'll be remembered as the god who chose stories over endings, as the brother who saved worlds by staying still, as the reason the multiverse survived long enough to dream of something better beyond Doomsday's shadow for everyone everywhere now. This is FilmVerse Hollywood, where Marvel theories go deeper than trailers and louder than leaks. If you want more breakdowns like this on Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars, and the future of the MCU, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss what Marvel hides in plain sight.